Greetings, fellow blasphemers!
Greetings, fellow blasphemers, and welcome to BearPaw72 on YouTube. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a comment in one of VenomFangX's videos, probably the one where he attempted to debate Thunderfoot. As a joke, I stated that I am going to hell when I die because I believe with all my heart that pi is equal to 3.141592654, as rounded off to 9 decimal places. I tried posting the same message twice, but both times, for some reason, the message failed to show up in the comments section of the video after I had X'd out and returned to his video. At first, I thought that VFX was displaying his usual antics that his staunchest critics have pointed out in some of their rebuttal videos. The following day, however, I received a message from VFX in my YouTube account inbox, and basically, I was flabbergasted by everything that he wrote. This series of videos will cover what VFX said about pi, the 7th layer of atmosphere, the Great Flood, rainbows, the hydrologic cycle, and the age of the Earth. In the first video, we will discuss what VenomFangX said about pi. And I quote, "Did you know the Bible knew pi before anyone else?" Courtesy of AnswersInGenesis.org. According to Wikipedia, the Old Testament was written between 1200 BC and 100 BC. However, pi had been tried, tested, and revised for at least 700 years before the Old Testament was even written. The Babylonians devised a version of pi in or around 1900 BC and 1680 BC, according to a tablet indicating a measurement of 3.125. The Egyptians used a value of 3.1605, according to the Rhine Papyrus of 1650 BC. The way we know pi today was inspired by a Greek mathematician named Archimedes and by a Chinese mathematician named Zhu Chongji, both by separate means. Archimedes used a combination of the Pythagorean theorem and measurements of irregular polygons, both outside and inside a circle, while Chongji probably used an algebraic equation according to this website. Furthermore, even though a Babylonian tablet indicated a pi measurement of 3.125, it was also popularly believed in Babylon that pi was 3. This leads me to believe that the biblical calculation for pi in 1 Kings and 2 Chronicles was likely copied from what the mainstream Babylonians considered it to be, and they copied it without even researching the formula any further than that. The website that VenomFangX referred me to on this subject, Answers in Genesis, attempts to explain this by claiming that the bowls had a protruded top rim. It further stated that the diameter of 10 cubits was measured at the top rim and that the circumference of 30 cubits was measured around the tapered-in dimension of the bowl. It then went on to claim that the smaller diameter of 9.55 cubits was to give a value of pi as a ratio to the 30-cubit circumference. To find this, however, one would need to know the exact measurement of the tapered-in circumference of the bowl. But the article fails to mention it. Kent Hovind once attempted to explain this by measuring the tapered rim to be a handbreadth thick, and the key was to subtract 2 handbreadths on both sides, from both sides, like from 10 cubits, and then calculate how many times the answer goes into 30 cubits. But a calculation that AKG41470 did on Actually Episode 6 last year indicated that the measurement was still off by at least 1.2%. This using the largest measurement a handbreadth could be. Answers in Genesis seems to claim that in the same article, and I quote, "The circumference of 30 cubits was measured with a line round about," verse 23, i.e. the most natural meaning of these words is that they refer to the circumference of the outside of the main body of the tank, measured by a string pulled tightly around the vessel below the brim. However, in my own searches for the word roundabout, I found two definitions. One, if it's spelled as two words as it shows in the Bible, roundabout means approximately, roughly, something like that, you know. This would mean that the measurement of the bowl around either the cylindrical portion or the tapered out rim was approximately 30 cubits around. But no matter what circumference you measure on the bowl, the answer, again as indicated by AKG 41470, will be off regardless. Besides which, 10 cubits across and 30 cubits roundabout is not even an approximation. It is off by about 1 2/5 of a cubit. And the other definition of roundabout, spelled as a single word, means 1. Not straight, indirect, proceeding in a way that is not direct or straightforward. 2. That surrounds or encircles. And 3. Cut round at the bottom, like a roundabout coat or jacket. Don't even try to say that the bowls were cut round at the bottom at 9.55 cubits, because again, the measurement where the bowls were cut at the bottom is not certain. And more importantly, these bowls were water vessels used to transport certain animals. Only an idiot would cut a hole at the bottom of such a vessel. There was also the claim that the discrepancy in the measurement might have been the result of the fact that the size of a cubit varied from person to person. Bologna. And even if this were true, why in the world would you even want to use one person's elbow to fingertip to measure the diameter and somebody else's elbow to fingertip to measure the circumference? Of all of the explanations that Answers in Genesis came up with, they couldn't even decide on which one was correct. I say none of them are, because I am led to believe that the biblical measurement of pi was copied from the outdated mainstream Babylonian measurement of 3, and a much closer measurement of 3.125 was known there long before the Old Testament was even written. This segment of BearPaw72 on YouTube was brought to you by an Earth that is older than 6,000 years old. Come and join it today! Stay tuned for video 2, where we discuss what VenomFangX said about the 7th layer of atmosphere. This has been BearPaw72 on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye now.